senhores, nós gostaríamos de convidá-los para se juntarem à sessão inaugural no salão principal, que irá começar em alguns minutos. Obrigada.
A tradução, não tem tradução para plataforma. Para português está sendo traduzido, mas para a plataforma não pode falar.
Ladies and gentlemen, we kindly remind you that we will have a live translation from Brazilian Portuguese to English and also from English to Brazilian Portuguese. Please make sure that you have collected your headsets outside the grand ballroom near the registration desk. Senhoras e senhores, gostaríamos de informá-los que nós teremos tradução ao vivo da língua portuguesa para a língua inglesa e também da língua inglesa para a língua portuguesa. Vocês podem coletar os seus fones perto da mesa de cadastro fora dessa sala de reunião.
Senhoras e senhores, sejam todos muito bem-vindos. Queiram, por gentileza, se acomodar. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Please take your seats. We shall begin in a few minutes. Thank you. Thank you very much for your attention. Vale ressaltar que nós temos fones de tradução simultânea disponíveis para aqueles que desejarem. Portanto, caso seja necessário, retirem os seus fones de tradução. We have simultaneous translation for those who need it, so feel free to take yours. How are you? How is everybody? Good morning. Can I hear a good morning from you? Good morning. In Portuguese, maybe. Bom dia. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos. We welcome you all. Please take your seats. I will wait a little bit so you can have your seats. Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent. Shall we continue? Yes? Bom dia. Good morning. It's with immense honor and gratitude that I welcome you to 25th Annual General Meeting of the Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network. Can I hear applause so we can begin with lots of energy for this special occasion? Thank you very much. We are privileged to have with us distinguished guests. A warm welcome also extends to our esteemed dignitaries, delegates, and invited guests, each of whom plays a role in advancing global health. My name is Ludmila Botas, and I am very happy to be here with you in this special occasion, so thank you very much for having me here. I am delighted to be your master of ceremony for this inaugural session. Before we begin, I will ask you please to silence your cell phones to ensure a respectful and uninterrupted atmosphere. Okay? Thank you very much. Today, we gather to celebrate an important milestone, the Silver Jubilee of the Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network, DCVMN. In the past 25 years, this network has evolved remarkably, now encompassing 45 vaccine manufacturing members from 17 developing countries and territories. Together, we produce over 78 WHO pre-qualified vaccines. This remarkable achievement underscores the progress we have made together and highlights the critical importance of collaboration in addressing global health challenges. In commemoration of this milestone, the theme of this year's annual general meeting is steering change to augment vaccine access and environmental sustainability. This message resonates deeply with our collective mission to ensure that vaccines are not only accessible, but also sustainable and equitable across all nations. Can I hear some applause, please? This year's event is organized in collaboration with prominent institutions, Instituto Butantan, Fundação Butantan e Instituto de Tecnologia em Imunobiológicos da Fundação Oswaldo Cruz, Biomanguinhos. These organizations are committed to advancing vaccine research, development, and accessibility. We are also fortunate to have in attendance representatives from key international organizations, industry leaders, academic research institutions, regulatory bodies, and policymakers. Over the next 3 days, we will engage in critical discussions covering a wide array of topics, including innovative strategies for enhancing vaccine distribution, collaborative approaches to tackling emerging health challenges, and the importance of environmental sustainability in vaccine manufacturing. As we convene, we encourage all participants to actively engage in the session, so please engage with us. It's very important to count on you in debates and all the activities that will happen through the event. Share your insights and forge new partnerships. Let us use this opportunity not only to celebrate our achievements, but also to inspire meaningful change in the vaccine landscape. So, I would like to express our gratitude to all the organizers, speakers, and participants who have made this event possible. Thank you very much. Your commitment to promoting vaccine access and sustainability is commendable. And together we can drive impactful change in the health of communities around the world. Once again, we warmly welcome each one of you from different parts of the world, of the global. Thank you for being here with us in this special occasion, the annual general meeting. Thank you very much for your presence and your dedication to this vital cause. Now the applauses are for you. So thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you. Now we are going to compose on our table. So to compose, I would like to invite the CEO of DCVMN. Please receive Mr. Radinder Suri. Welcome, Mr. Radinder. Thank you. Yes, okay.
You have to call your microphone. You have to call ambassador of.
Can you just please give me some minutes? Okay, now we have this one. Thank you, Mr. Radinder. It's a live event, so. Perfect. Okay. And he's going to be with us at the table. Yes? Should I call him now? Yeah? Okay, I'll keep going. Deborah, you help me out in here. Thank you very much. The Secretary of Science, Technology and Innovation and of the Health Economic Industrial Complex of the Brazilian Ministry of Health, recebam, por favor, Dr. Carlos Gadelha. Thank you. Representing Dr. Richard Hatchett, CEO, SEP, we will have the Executive Director of Access and Business Development, SEP, Ms. Emma Whitley. Thank you. Represent the Governor of the State of São Paulo, the Director of Instituto Butantan. Recebam, por favor, Dr. Esper Jorge Calas. Thank you. The CEO of Biomanguinhos, Dr. Maurício Zuma. Seja bem-vindo. Representing the Secretary of Health of the State of São Paulo, Miss Vegiane Cardoso de Paula. Perfect. The Executive Director of Fundação Butantan, Mr. Saulo Simone Nassif. Seja muito bem-vindo. The Board Chair of DCVMN, Mr. Adriancha Azari. Honorable Ambassador of India in Brazil, Mr. Suresh Reddy. In virtual mode, we would like to invite the Director of UNICEF Supply Division, Ms. Leila Hartzguzlo Pakala. As we are all standing, please still standing still, and I will invite all of you please to stand for the Brazilian national anthem, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please take your seats. Please sit down. Thank you very much. Excellent. Thank you. We would like to invite the co-host, Mr. Radinder Suri, to initiate the ceremony. Please, Mr. Radinder. Yes.
Bom dia. Good morning. No. Good morning. My voice is louder than yours. Good morning. Wonderful. Welcome. Welcome to this beautiful city of Sao Paulo in Brazil. We are all going to have the hospitality of Brazilian culture. And you are going to enjoy next 3 days. Not only of interactions, discussions, debates, but also a lot of fun. I promise you that. It is with great pleasure that I would like to welcome Honorable Secretary of Science, Technology and Innovation and of Health Economic Industrial Complex of the Brazilian Ministry of Health, Dr. Carlos Gadela. A big hand for him, please. He is not only representing himself, but he is also representing Honorable Minister Nicia Trinidad, who very much wanted to be here amongst us, but because of a conflicting engagement, could not join us here today. I would like to welcome Honorable Ambassador of India to Brazil, Dr. Suresh Reddy, who is very kind to join us on this momentous occasion. Welcome, Dr. Reddy. I would like to, of course, thank and welcome Dr. Tedros, Director General, WHO, Dr. Sania Nishtar, CEO Gavi, Ms. Emma Whitley, representing Dr. Richard, CEO SAPI, Attorney General of the State of Sao Paulo, Dr. Leela Pakala, Director UNICEF, Dr. Barbosa, Director PAHO, Dr. Ayodi Alakija, Board Chair of FIND, Dr. Mario Santos Moreira, President Fiocruz, and who could not be here amongst us, but they have sent their video messages or are joining us online. Representing the Governor of State of Sao Paulo, the Director of Institute Butantan, Dr. Esper Georgios Callas. Representing the Secretary of Health of the State of Sao Paulo, Ms. Regan Cardosa da Paula. The CEO of Biomeninges, Dr. Mauricio Zuma. Executive Director of Fundaco Butantan, Mr. Solo Simoni Nasif. And the Board Chair of DCVMN, Mr. Adrian Shah Azari. Distinguished guests, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and pleasure to have you all here with us to celebrate the Silver Jubilee of DCVMN together. Thank you for having traveled long distances to be here in the spirit of bonhomie and solidarity. We are going to have 3 intense days of discussions, deliberations, interactions, and dialogue to carve out meaningful solutions to the challenges humanity is facing today and prepare ourselves for any kind of public health emergency of international concern tomorrow. On this auspicious occasion of the 25th anniversary of DCVMN, may I have the pleasure of sharing with you our journey of last 25 years in a capsulated form for the next 12.5 minutes. Please sit back and enjoy. Can I have the Silver Jubilee video, please?
DCVMN is an alliance of vaccine manufacturers from developing countries driven by public health goals. We represent our member companies' interests on the international stage, ensuring timely access to novel technologies and funding, thereby improving capabilities of member manufacturers. Together, we'd eliminated polio in many countries, controlled meningitis A in Africa, provided pentavalent vaccines to hundreds of millions of children, and contributed to over 60% of the world's COVID-19 vaccines. This strong relationship between DCVMN members, driven by the mission to protect and connect, can be traced back to 25 years ago.
At that time, vaccine market was dominated by multinational companies from developed countries. The vaccine manufacturers in developing countries, they have limited capacities and many had outdated facilities.
we said we should have some new association so that we can share some technologies, ideas, expertise, regulatory knowledges, all that.
One important meeting was there in Bandung in 2000, with several international organizations together there, UNICEF, WHO, we established DCVMN.
The end goal is higher quality vaccines at affordable prices, immunizing more children in low-income countries and middle-income countries, thereby playing a very, very significant impact on global public health.
The DCVMN program is bringing all the manufacturers in one umbrella. We are able to interact with them and share some of our feelings and issues to all the international agencies. And we are really grateful all the international agencies proactively helping DCVMN manufacturers.
With the help of international health organizations and our member companies, we were able to tackle our first major challenge, the African meningitis belt.
At that time, the WHO was struggling to get a vaccine produced quickly and to be delivered to all the countries in Africa which were suffering through meningitis. And at that time, one of our member companies, Serum Institute of India, came forward.
These groups start to discuss how to scale up the production. Usually, a vaccine development takes 10 years, 15 years. But with this group, in 3 years, we had a vaccine ready at a very low cost to African countries, and meningitis belt disappeared.
This vaccine was affordable and made possible by a team effort involving SII, PATH, and WHO. It showed how public and private institutions can work together to innovate and solve health issues in places with limited resources. The following years were filled with achievements, new offices, collaborators, international grants, and vaccines. An industry-experienced CEO, Razinda Suri, was appointed to steer DCVMN to a higher trajectory on the international stage. But despite our outward success, the toughest test was still ahead, the COVID-19 pandemic.
COVID-19 came as a big challenge to the whole humanity. Lives were being lost, but also the livelihoods were being lost.
There's also not a very substantial health system in trying to manage this kind of pandemic, especially in developing countries.
I lost a very close colleague in the office in the first month of pandemic, so I felt that we need to work to do something.
The challenge came because the vaccine was not available and it had to be introduced at that particular point of time. There was no movement of man, material, and machine. At the same time, the plants had to run, so we need to take initiative.
We saw our members doing business deals, contracts, working together and reacting at the moments necessary.
The WHO, Gavi, SAPI, UNICEF, PAHO, and various other organizations, including Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, came forward to support. And then the vaccine manufacturing was happening non-stop. Quality assurance was 24/7, and the monitoring and control was so effective. At the end of 21, we had 11.3 billion doses globally produced, and out of that, 60% of the vaccines were produced by developing country vaccine, and we made the vaccine available to those countries who needed it most.
This is the 25th year of our journey. To represent our transformation over the years, we've changed our identity to fit with the changing times. Thank you to the collaborators, members, and specialists who supported us every step of the way. The following are some words of encouragement from our partners.
WHO has been proud to collaborate with the network since its inception, including through the expanded program on immunization. The network has helped to significantly increase equitable access to life-saving vaccines in low and lower middle-income countries. Since its founding in 2000, the network has grown to 45 members, producing more than 80 vaccines with WHO pre-qualification. This has enabled expanded production capacity, greater competition, and improved affordability. It has also supported global efforts to eradicate polio and control meningitis, and played an important role in the supply chain for COVID vaccines and in pandemic preparedness and response. Now, the network is also playing an important role in the WHO mRNA technology transfer program and in developing new vaccines for regional priorities with unmet needs.
Or DCVMN, and Gavi share both a birth date and a mission. Since 2000, we have both been dedicated to saving lives and protecting health by increasing equitable and sustainable access to vaccines. With the collaboration of DCVMN members, Gavi has helped vaccinate more than 1 billion children in 78 lower-income countries, preventing more than 17.3 million future deaths. Today, 40 different products from DCVMN manufacturers are supporting Gavi programs, compared with 10 products back in 2012. And by 2030, that number will have grown larger still.
The Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network has over the last quarter century worked to assure that there are quality manufacturers for vaccines against all major diseases. Together with countries and Gavi, they provide vaccines for more than half of the world's children and for the many outbreaks that have occurred. Today, vaccines are the most widespread health intervention, with close to 90% of children receiving at least one dose of a routine vaccine. Furthermore, we have gone from vaccinating against 6 diseases to 19 diseases. This is an enormous accomplishment that deserves celebration.
Over the past 25 years, the DCVMN has played a pivotal role in empowering vaccine manufacturers in developing countries, ensuring that life-saving vaccines can reach those who need them most, regardless of geographic or economic barriers. Vaccines that are protecting our children from illness, disability, and death. My organization, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, supports this objective. With the World Economic Forum and the National Academies of Medicine, we have recently established the Regionalized Vaccine Manufacturing Collaborative to help all regions of the world advance towards vaccine self-sufficiency. Ultimately, we, collectively, CEPI, DCVMN, and all our partners, are striving to create a more just world.
DCVM's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. What began as an idea amongst 10 manufacturers and really supported by the WHO turned into this huge movement, as a result of which we all meet here today. We saw a critical gap, an influential voice that was absent from the global health discussion, a missing seat at the table, if you will. To be heard, we realized the need for an organization that could champion our shared interests and amplify our collective voice. And that's how DCVM was born. Today, DCVM represents over 40 manufacturers from across the globe, with an astonishing 60% of the share of the world's vaccine production. We've become truly a force to be reckoned with, a key advocate in policy, and a crucial voice for vaccine access and global health solutions.
Manufacturers in developing countries are a key source of vaccines for children. More than 2/3 of the vaccines that UNICEF delivers are produced in the Global South. UNICEF's long-standing partnership with the Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network, or DCVMN, has helped protect millions of children from preventable diseases, saving countless lives. DCVMN has grown over the last 25 years into a large and vibrant organization. It's a testimony to how critical this network has become to the survival and well-being of children all over the world. UNICEF is grateful for the partnership with DCVMN, and all of us at UNICEF congratulate you on this Silver Jubilee. As we look to the future, it's by further strengthening and leveraging our partnership that we can best deliver on our shared localization and sustainability agenda and ensure that children are reached consistently and everywhere with life-saving vaccines. We look forward to furthering our shared goal together.
The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, has a unique role to support its member states to access affordable and quality vaccines. Furthermore, vaccines provided by the developing countries' vaccine manufacturers network members have been a great catalyst for our region to achieve disease control and elimination goals. The recent global health crisis has highlighted more than ever the need to ensure equitable and timely access to appropriate vaccines for all people. Under this principle, PAHO's regional revolving funds and technical units rely on the collaboration of the vaccine producers in this network. We are also happy that some important producers in Latin America are active members of this network. Through its innovation and regional production platform, PAHO will continue to provide extensive technical support to current and future manufacturers in Latin America and the Caribbean. We look forward to sustaining our close collaboration in the future.
So it is with deep gratitude and optimism for the future that I congratulate you today on your Silver Jubilee. And I say on behalf of all of us at Gavi that we look forward to making many more anniversaries of our cooperation.
I'm delighted to share this message honoring the Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network as it celebrates its 25th year and a quarter century of dedication, innovation, and collaboration in our shared mission to improve global health through vaccines. My colleagues at CEPI and I are honored to be your partners in this endeavor.
It is an honor to congratulate the Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network on its 25 years of distinguished trajectory.
My heartfelt congratulations to all of you on the Silver Jubilee of the Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network. Thank you all for your collaboration, partnership, and dedication to harnessing the power of vaccines for a healthier, safer, and fairer world.
Now DCVMN has reached a different status and is being acknowledged as an important actor in the manufacturing of vaccines in the world.
And we can now take pride in saying that we will be able to contribute together with the international health organizations. And we would like to be your reliable partners for future. We are with you today, tomorrow, and always. Ooh. Thank you very much once again. And before, I would like to close my session. I would like to request my colleague and mentor, Professor Akira Homa, to stand up wherever he is. And I would request all of you to pay a big applause for Dr. Akira Homa, the founder member of DCVMN. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, friends. All this could be possible because of your continued and unstinted support, collaboration, cohesion, and resilience. We at DCVMN look forward to enhanced contribution and commitment of timely access and vaccine equity to all populations of the world going forward in next 25 years. Obrigado. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rajendra Suri, for this emotional opening. Thank you very much. Now, we would like to give the floor to Mr. Adriancha Azari for the vote of thanks, please. Welcome.
Good morning, Honorable Dr. Carlos Gadela, Secretary of Science, Technology and Innovation, and of the Health Economics Industrial Complex of the Brazilian Ministry of Health, Dr. Paulo Sergio de Oliveira e Costa, Attorney General of the State of São Paulo, Ms. Virginie Cardosa de Paula, representing the Secretary of Health of the State of São Paulo, Ms. Leila Gargozo Bacala, Director, UNICEF Supply Division, Ms. Emma Whitley, Executive Director of Access and Business Development at CEPI, standing in for Dr. Richard Hatchett, CEO for CEPI, Dr. Esper George Kalas, Director of Instituto Butantan, Dr. Mauricio Zuma, CEO of Biomanginus and my friend at the DCVMN board, Dr. Saulo Simoni Nasif, Executive Director of Fundaco Butantan, of course, Your Excellency Ambassador of India for Brazil, my colleague, Mr. Jasuri, CEO of DCVMN, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my honor and pleasure to deliver this opening address at this inaugural session of the 25th Annual General Meeting of DCVMN, led in this beautiful city of Sao Paulo, Brazil. As you are aware, medical advancements have led to a dramatic decline in health rates for numerous diseases. In this regard, with the introduction of vaccines, life expectancy has increased tremendously, thus resulting in better quality of life. The Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network, or DCVMN, is a voluntary alliance of over 40 vaccine manufacturers from 16 developing countries, firmly engaged in innovation, research, development, manufacturing, and supply of high-quality vaccines to 170 countries, striving to enable equitable access to vaccines. This year's general meeting is unique as it coincides with the Silver Jubilee of DCVMN, marking 25 years of existence. We have gone through a long journey to become what we are today, thanks to our founding fathers of this establishment. In this regard, I would like also to acknowledge Dr. Akira Homa, who has been very instrumental in shaping up DCVMN to what it is today. We have been instrumental in providing 60% of the global COVID-19 vaccines to the world. This goes to show the strategic role of DCVMN members in supporting global health through the provision of the much-needed vaccines. In this annual general meeting, with presentations and deliberations from the most learned speakers and through various panel discussions, we are confident that the outcome will be a clear roadmap ahead of us in saving humanity from many pandemics in future, and also to strengthen the routine immunization coverage, reducing zero-dose children significantly. May I thank the dignitaries for presenting their video messages, and I thank you very much for attending this annual general meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Drancha. Thank you for the words. We would like to give the floor now to Mr. Saulo Simoni Nassif, please. With some applause, please. Yeah. Thank you.
Morning. Dr. Carlos Gadelha, Vice Minister, Secretary of Science, Technology and Innovation and of the Health Economic Industrial Complex of the Brazilian Ministry of Health, representing the Minister of Health himself and the Minister of Health. Thanks for being here with us. Dr. Esper George Kalas, Director of Butantan Institute, standing in for the Governor of the State of São Paulo. Mr. Suresh Reddy, Ambassador of India, thanks for coming from Brasilia to be with us here as well. Mr. Rajinder Suri, CEO of DCVMN. Mr. Adriancia Assari, Board Chair of DCVMN. Mauricio Zuma Medeiros, CEO of Biomanguinhos. Mrs. Regiane Cardoso de Paula, representing the Secretary of Health of the State of São Paulo. Ms. Emma Whitley, Executive Director of Access and Business Development, CEPI, standing in for Dr. Richard Hatchett, CEO of CEPI. So the people present here, and also thanks for the people that are sending video messages. Dr. Jarbas Barbosa, Director of PAHO, Dr. Sania Nishtar, CEO of Gavi, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, General Director of WHO, Dr. Ayodi Alakja, Board Chair, Dr. Mario Moreira, President of Fiocruz, and so many others. Once again, good morning to everyone. A joy to be here today. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of Butantan Foundation and make a special salute and thank you first to DCVMN and its entire team who lead this voluntary alliance of so many institutions and countries. DCVMN seems to be the translation of the word purpose. Last year, I had the happiness of participating in the event in South Africa, and I was immediately impacted by the commitment and determination of everyone there in gathering competence and will to make access to vaccines more equitable around the world. At that moment, along with Tiago Roca, we decided to propose and face the challenge of organizing this assembly here in São Paulo. This challenge was immediately embraced by Director of our Butantan Institute, Esper Calas, my friend and partner on this journey, and by Fiocruz, who gave us the pleasure of joining us in organizing this event. More than that, Fiocruz Biomanguinhos has been a partner at all times in our daily fight to make Brazil a more independent country in the production and vaccines and other immunobiologicals. Padding side by side, I'm sure we are getting closer and closer to this objective. Organizing an assembly of this size is certainly a task of many hands and many minds, but I want to leave here my special thanks to Deborah Moretti, who I'd like to dedicate a round of applause. Who has been dedicating herself daily to make everything here occurs in the best way possible. And I extend my thanks to the entire tireless team at DCVMN. Butantan and Fiocruz, who have worked for almost a year to welcome everyone here. With everyone's support and work, I'm sure we will have here the productivity, learning, and partnerships that we need. 3 days that will point to new paths, innovations, and which will put the best of science and the best of management at the service of those who need it most, in the service of life, as is the motto of our Butantan's Institute. I'm very happy that a mission as noble as seeking a better and more equality model of vaccine distribution around the world is being conducted and led by the institutions and people present in this alliance that forms the DCVMN. Thanks to all of you. I would also like to thank the State's Secretary of Health of São Paulo, the Minister of Health, PAHO, and the WHO that are in the defense of access to quality health care for everyone, anywhere, in any circumstances. It's an honor and a privilege to be by your side. Thank you very much, and I wish a great event with a lot of fun for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nassif. Thank you for your words. Now we shall continue. Invited to speak now, please, let's receive Dr. Maurício Zuma, CEO, Biomanguinhos Fiocruz. Com uma salva de palmas, please.
Good morning, everyone. Almost afternoon. Let's give my greetings to Dr. Carlos Gadelha and in his name, all my colleagues and authorities present here, and welcome you all. It's a great pleasure for me to be with you here today, holding this AGM of the Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturing Network International for the third time in Brazil. This year, we are delighted to be co-hosting this event with our sister institutions, Instituto Butantan and Fundação Butantan, and it's also even more special because DCVMN is celebrating its Silver Jubilee. 25 years have passed quickly, especially for me, that have been working for Bill Manguinhos for over 30 years. And Bill Manguinhos Fiocruz is proud to have been part of the DCVMN since its inception in 2000. Its beautiful history, just presented in this emotional video, brings back our memories and fuels us with pride for our journey. Under the guidance of influential leaders, such as the founders of the DCVMN, Dr. Akira, here with us, the late Dr. Isaias from Butantan, Dr. Suresh from Serum, and Dr. Tamrin from Biopharma. And now with Mr. Suri as the CEO, the DCVMN has become a vital alliance for public health around the world, bringing together diverse vaccine manufacturers with a common purpose: to share knowledge, promote innovation, and ensure that more and more vaccines reach the populations in need, as we did during the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot has been done, but there is still a lot to be done. The world is changing quickly. Many challenges lie ahead of us. Our responsibility has increased. The more we do, the more is expected of us. And we have to fulfill our social responsibility with environmental responsibility. I can assure you that Bill Manguinhos Fiocruz is committed to this future and to our network. Let us move forward, actively exploring how our capabilities and capacities of research and production can contribute to a healthier, more sustainable world. Let us move towards a steering change to augment vaccine access and environmental sustainability, so that we can build a more resilient, equitable, and sustainable world for future generations. Just a last message. The organization team has worked hard to guarantee that we have an inspiring event. Let's enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zuma, thank you. Now we shall continue, and I would like to invite to give the floor, please, Mrs. Regiane Cardoso de Paula, Ms. Regiane Cardoso de Paula, representing the Secretary of Health of the São Paulo, the state of São Paulo. Please, with a warm applause. Thank you. Olá.
Bom dia a todos e todas. Cumprimentando o Dr. Gadelha, eu cumprimento a todos da mesa. E em nome da Secretária Executiva em exercício, Priscila Perdicardes, da Secretaria de Estado da Saúde, eu cumprimento a todos. É uma alegria muito grande tê-los aqui, nos 25 anos, nesse jubileu de prata no estado de São Paulo. Essa aliança global, firmemente comprometida com a inovação, pesquisa, desenvolvimento, fabricação e fornecimento de vacinas de alta qualidade. Senhores, senhoras, tenham a certeza de que vocês tornam o nosso mundo um mundo melhor. Muito obrigada.
Muito obrigada. We would like to thank Ms. Regiane Cardoso de Paula. We would like to give the floor to Dr. Esper Jorge Calas. Now, please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
So thank you for inviting me to this opening session. And I must share with you that this is a dream that came through when we were down in South Africa for the 24th DCVMN meeting. Saul and I were discussing why don't we talk to the colleagues at Fiocruz and bring the meeting down here to Brazil again. And fortunately, the DCVMN members agreed upon that. With the help with Dr. Suri and everybody else, we're able to pull out this together. So having you here is an honor to Instituto Butantan, I'm sure to Fiocruz as well, but also to the city of São Paulo, state of São Paulo, and Brazil. So in the name of the governor also, who could not be here with us today, would like to do a warm welcome to you all. This is a very welcoming city, as I said a couple times already to you all, and I hope you enjoy São Paulo during these 3 days ahead of us. Must say that I think the main solution to prevent diseases and also for immunobiologicals lie in this group of manufacturers. And I understand also that making it affordable and accessible is one of the things that we have accomplished for several vaccines, not only in our region, but the entire world, by the examples that were laid out in the first video that was showed here for us today. In this, it speaks for itself by the fact that over 60% of vaccines utilized in the world come from one of our manufacturing plants in this group of DCVMN. So we've been doing a good job, but I think the future ahead of us is that we will expand this capacity, we'll make it more accessible, make it more affordable. And the challenges ahead of us is not going to diminish. In fact, all the signs, signals and signs coming out show that it will be becoming even more difficult. So we anticipate that new threats will come up. So there are several things that we need to tackle. The first, limited resources in several regions, areas of conflict, new pathogens emerging in something that we're witnessing very dramatically is this global warming that's going on in changing the environment, which will change also the predicates for new pathogens to emerge, and potentially we face few other threats in the near future. So having a very strong network, established capacity, is the only way we can prepare ourselves in our countries, in our regions, to respond to future threats. Butantan is trying to do that. We are bringing up a new dengue vaccine, a new chikungunya vaccine. We have, like many others, a prototype of bird flu vaccine coming in 2025. And together we can discuss these issues, come with solutions, and try to prepare the best we can amongst ourselves to make those vaccines and products that will be needed in the future accessible to all. So with an open heart, I would like to say again that this is a great opportunity, and thanks for you all who traveled so long distances to be with us today. It's an enormous pleasure. Welcome to Brazil, welcome to the state of São Paulo, welcome to the city of São Paulo, and welcome to Butantan and Fiocruz here in Brazil. Thank you very much.
We would like to thank Dr. Calas. Thank you very much. Now, we'll have Dr. Mário Moreira, President of Fiocruz, who will addressing us through video message. Let's see, please.
Caros membros do Developed Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network International, Board da DCVMN International e instituições parceiras. É com muito orgulho e também alegria que a Fundação Oswaldo Cruz Fiocruz ombreada com seu mais importante parceiro institucional, o Instituto Butantan, recebe aqui no Brasil, na cidade de São Paulo, a reunião anual da nossa rede, no ano em que marca seu 25º aniversário. Ambas as instituições públicas, governamentais, comungam o objetivo de fortalecer a nossa base de ciência e de tecnologia para a produção nacional de insumos para o nosso Sistema Único de Saúde, o SUS, em especial no tocante às vacinas. Duas instituições centenárias fundamentais para a sustentabilidade do nosso Programa Nacional de Imunizações. Essencialmente, trabalhamos pela ampliação do acesso à nossa população a produtos de qualidade e conteúdo tecnológico. Em nosso país, como é sabido, a saúde é um direito fundamental garantido em nossa Constituição. E entendemos que esse direito não se limita às nossas fronteiras e se estende no âmbito global. Nessa direção, o governo brasileiro tem envidado esforço junto aos organismos multilaterais, organizações internacionais e também nas suas relações bilaterais para reduzir as assimetrias entre o Norte e o Sul no que se refere à capacidade de desenvolvimento e produção de vacinas, por conseguinte, para garantir o acesso. Não podemos esquecer jamais o que aconteceu durante o enfrentamento à pandemia de Covid-19. Novamente, destaco o papel absolutamente fundamental destas duas organizações, a Fiocruz e o Butantan, na produção local de vacinas no período mais crítico da pandemia, o que salvou a vida de milhões de brasileiros. Acreditamos firmemente que o DCVMN é uma aliança fundamental para garantir o acesso de vacinas de alta qualidade em escala mundial, especialmente aos países do sul global. Nesse contexto, a Fiocruz considera essencial promover uma cooperação estruturante, horizontal, que impulsione localmente o desenvolvimento tecnológico em saúde. Investir nas capacidades locais de produção de vacinas não apenas amplia o acesso, mas também fortalece a autonomia e a resiliência dos nossos sistemas de saúde. Com esse propósito, o Brasil está apresentando ao G20 a proposta de aliança global para a inovação e produção local de insumos. Tenho certeza que os princípios e valores que inspiraram essa proposta são semelhantes, se não os mesmos, que aqueles que fundamentam a existência do CVMN. A reunião deste ano, com o tema Orientando a Mudança para aumentar o acesso às vacinas e sustentabilidade ambiental, trará discussões do mais alto nível, sem dúvida, fazendo com que a inovação se apresente como propulsora de estratégias efetivas e sustentáveis para o combate a doenças preveníveis de grande impacto para a população mundial, assim como para a preparação e resposta a futuras pandemias. Gostaria de agradecer a todos os responsáveis pela espetacular preparação e organização desse evento e também para parabenizar todos os membros e o board do Internacional pelo Jubileu de Prata. Estou confiante de que, juntos, com a colaboração entre a Fiocruz e o Butantan e todos os membros do DCVMN, poderemos construir um futuro mais saudável, sobretudo menos desigual para as nossas populações, no presente e no futuro. É um desafio significativo que exigirá um esforço coletivo e que este encontro vai ser capaz de avançar nesse sentido, tenho certeza. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos ao Brasil e que esta reunião apresente os melhores resultados para os nossos países e para o mundo. Um grande abraço a todos.
Thank you very much, Dr. Moreira. And now I would like to pass the word to the Honorable Ambassador of India to Brasilia, Mr. Suresh Head. Please. With applause. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to start by thanking Mr. Suri. And I notice the time is already 12 o'clock, so I'll try to keep it short. Distinguished guests, members of the DCVM and friends especially to the friends who have come from India, representatives of the Indian vaccine manufacturing companies. It's really a great privilege for me to join you here today as we celebrate the 25th anniversary of the DCVMN network. It is impressive that since its foundation in 2000, it has grown into a major, not just an alliance, but a major association of manufacturers who are actually addressing the challenge of equity in health, as it was mentioned repeatedly by many of the speakers in the past. The role of the DCVMN as global health is truly commendable. It is a remarkable achievement, and it underlines the power of collaboration among countries of the Global South. The theme of today's celebration, Steering Change to Augment Vaccine Access and Environmental Sustainability, is particularly relevant in our times. It reminds us that the challenges of today, ranging from the increasing complexity of emerging diseases to the urgent need for sustainability, requires innovation, inclusive, and collaborative solutions. As a proud member of this network, India has played a pivotal role in advancing the mission of the DCVMN. As the world's largest vaccine producer, India is committed to accessible and affordable vaccine for all. During COVID pandemic, when the world was closing its doors, India initiated Vaccine Maitri initiative. India has supplied over 290 million vaccine doses to more than 100 countries, many of them in the Global South. We are here today because we understand that the burden of disease is disproportionately felt by the developing countries. These are the nations that face the dual challenge of limited resources and a higher disease burden. For true health equity, it is critical that vaccines reach every corner of the world, from the largest cities to the remotest villages. This is a responsibility that the DCVMN has embraced, but it is also one that needs sustained global support. India's leadership in the vaccine industry is not only about volume, but also about innovation. India is increasingly investing in the next generation technologies and new adjuvant technologies that can be game-changing in combating emerging infectious diseases. India is ready to continue this journey alongside our friends in Brazil, the DCVMN, and other partners. I'll just take a couple of minutes to mention here. That was the formal speech. But I was in Brazil in 2020. September 2020, I came to Brazil. And I was a witness to what impact, I would say, this alliance and what impact India had globally. I was also newly in the ministry, shepherding our engagement with many countries in terms of meeting the vaccine requirement and also the pharmaceutical requirement. It is something really remarkable. I mean, I'm speaking as Indian ambassador. It was really remarkable that we stepped up. We showed that as a responsible member of the global community, how we were willing to stand by our friends and support them. And for me, it is a matter of pride that India was the first country to supply the largest dose of vaccines to Brazil. And it is also a matter of pride that I had the opportunity to visit Butantan and Fiocruz during that period. And I had extensive discussions with today's Minister of Health, Dr. Nisia. That time she was the president of Fiocruz, on strengthening cooperation and collaboration between India and Brazil. And I believe we do need to strengthen this cooperation as two large vaccine manufacturing countries and as two leaders of the Global South. And I look forward to strengthening the collaboration and making it happen. And I don't know, many of you noticed this backdrop. I thought it was a great backdrop. No, not of me, but of the earlier one. Can we have that Christ statue, please? The statue of Christ, the Redeemer. The backdrop.
Excellencies, friends, greetings,
sorry.
greetings from Mumbai.
Okay. Either you'll be seeing it, I don't see it now. But you see the Christ the Redeemer statue, it's built at a height of almost, beautiful. It's built at a height of 100 meters, 100 feet. Really, it's one of the tallest statues in the world, and it is right on top of the mountain. For those who have not been there, please, you should visit it. It's in Rio. But more importantly, what is the message of it? The message is a message of hope. It is built at a height so that everybody from near and far can see it and have the hope. They do not lose their hope, and I think that is what this alliance is doing. It is giving hope to the millions and billions of the people who are in need of the vaccines, who are in need of a better health, who are in need of a better future. And so my congratulations to each and every one of you who are playing this critical role, and my compliments to you, really. And please keep doing the good work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you. Now, we would like to pass the word to Dr. Carlos Gadelha, please. With applause, please.
It is a pleasure to be here. I will speak in Portuguese. Let you give you some seconds to arrange your handsets. É enorme prazer estar aqui representando o Ministério da Saúde, a nossa ministra da Saúde, Nízia Trindade Lima, ex-presidente da Fundação Oswaldo Cruz, primeira mulher ministra da Saúde no Brasil e primeira ministra que vem da área de ciência, tecnologia, inovação e de produção. Ela queria muito estar aqui, eu trago aqui o abraço afetivo dela e o meu próprio abraço, que tem acompanhado toda a trajetória do DCVMN nesses 25 anos. Eu queria saudar a todos, nas pessoas do Dr. Suri, dos nossos anfitriões, Dr. Esper, Maurício e Mário Moreira, da Fiocruz. Também queria saudar a Regiane Cardoso, aqui da nossa Secretaria Estadual de Saúde, dar aqui o meu abraço ao Eleus e toda a Secretaria de Estado. Queria dar o destaque a todos os representantes do Ministério da Saúde que estão aqui presentes, na pessoa do Éder Gatti, que coordena o nosso Programa Nacional de Imunização. O Brasil, depois de anos de negacionismo, volta a recuperar a cobertura vacinal em quase todas as vacinas. E a gente tem aqui que celebrar a adoção da vacina como talvez o maior instrumento de política pública para proteger a vida das pessoas. Também queria, por fim, saudar a todos aqui presentes. Eu gostaria de citar todos os nomes e de muitas pessoas que vejo na plateia e também aqui na nossa mesa, mas eu volto aqui a saudar o Dr. Akira Roma. Eu fico brincando que me deixam para falar mais na fase final e eu sempre perco o protagonismo na saudação do Dr. Akira. Mas eu quero ressaltar, então, contar algo um pouco mais pessoal. O Dr. Akira foi meu primeiro chefe. Foi quando eu, na Fundação Oswaldo Cruz, se achou que havia um espaço para tratar, para incorporar um economista do desenvolvimento, pensando um pouco saúde como desenvolvimento. E eu tenho toda a minha gratidão ao Dr. Akira e o reconhecimento que, se hoje a saúde é prioridade da estratégia brasileira, a gente deve muito a essas grandes pessoas e às grandes instituições como o Butantan e a Fundação Oswaldo Cruz. Com carinho, com afeto, saúdo o Dr. Akira Roma, em nome dele a todos aqui presentes. Eu não sou muito de seguir os protocolos na fala, inclusive muitas vezes prefiro falar mesmo com precariedade no inglês para que ouçam o tom da voz latina, né? Mas hoje estou aqui fazendo uma fala um pouquinho mais formal, mas mesmo assim vou fugir um pouco e dizer, quando há 25 anos atrás eu ouvi pela primeira vez, eu comecei minha vida acadêmica estudando o campo da biotecnologia, das vacinas, eu ouvi pela primeira vez o DCVMN. E o que a gente ouvia naquela época, e ouvia nos fóruns internacionais, e fui a vários, inclusive depois, já no Ministério da Saúde, há 10 anos atrás, antes de retornar agora, eu ouvia coisas do tipo: a área de vacinas e da saúde exige uma escala muito grande de produção. Não é possível países menos desenvolvidos produzirem. Eu ouvia que não podíamos duplicar esforços. Se já existe quem produz, por que produzir de novo? Eu ouvia que os países menos desenvolvidos não tinham estrutura de governança, de gestão pública que pudessem ser honestos, competitivos e eficientes na produção de vacinas. Graças a Deus, nós ouvimos isso, mas não consideramos. Nós passamos sim a produzir vacinas, medicamentos, tecnologias para câncer, equipamentos e dispositivos médicos. Não fossem os países em desenvolvimento não terem acreditado naquela história, que era uma história para concentrar a produção na mão apenas de poucos países, de poucas empresas, nós não teríamos salvo milhões de vidas na Covid. Ainda bem que tivemos a coragem e a ousadia de não aceitar uma escada que tinha sido chutada para que a gente não tivesse capacidade de subir a ladeira do desenvolvimento na saúde. Portanto, eu queria, em nome de nossa ministra, dizer que o DCVMN representa para a gente um exemplo e um símbolo de que é sim possível os países menos desenvolvidos darem sua contribuição, inclusive cooperando com os países do norte, cooperando com as grandes empresas, mas entendendo que a tecnologia, a produção e o conhecimento não pode ser concentrado apenas em poucas pessoas, poucas regiões e poucas empresas. Aqui no nosso país, nós tivemos a oportunidade imensa do nosso presidente Lula ter lançado a saúde, este nome grande, o Complexo Econômico Industrial da Saúde, o Health Economic Industrial Complex, como uma das 6 prioridades da política de desenvolvimento. Ontem eu estava num evento, estava lá também o Esper, Maurício, várias das pessoas aqui presentes, aonde 5 ministros de Estado estavam lançando os projetos e as iniciativas e anunciando os investimentos para a produção nacional ligadas às necessidades de saúde. Foram apresentados 322 projetos de inovação e de transferência de tecnologia. Nosso vice-presidente estava presente, nossa ministra da Saúde, Nízia Trindade, a ministra da Ciência e Tecnologia, o ministro de Relações Institucionais, que faz toda a articulação com o Congresso Nacional, e a ministra de Gestão e Inovação na produção, na gestão e inovação nos serviços públicos. Hoje, a gente pode dizer que a saúde constitui uma das principais áreas de desenvolvimento do Brasil. Mas não é só do Brasil, e eu já caminho aqui para o encerramento, para ficar dentro do prazo que está esperado, mas hoje o Brasil tem um compromisso com a saúde global. Nós queremos crescentemente cooperar na produção, na inovação e na tecnologia. Estamos na presidência do Brasil do G20, lançando uma coalizão para a produção e inovação de vacinas, medicamentos e dispositivos médicos para as doenças negligenciadas e para as populações mais vulneráveis do planeta. Eu quero agradecer aqui o forte apoio que temos tido dos países que fazem parte deste fórum para apoiar a proposta de termos também uma coalizão coordenada por um país do sul global, mas que não visa apenas o interesse do Brasil, visa sim o interesse da humanidade e o interesse global. Também estou chegando da reunião dos BRICS, onde tive a honra de representar a ministra, e nesta reunião foi lançada a revista do BRICS, e o primeiro capítulo da revista se refere a esta experiência brasileira e, ao mesmo tempo, um chamamento para que a gente possa se unir para reduzir a assimetria global e para a gente ter um mundo mais equânime na produção e inovação. Eu queria voltar aqui na iniciativa do G20 e dizer que ela não é restrita aos países do G20. Nós propusemos que ela fosse aberta a todos os países, e aqui eu queria enfatizar, aos 16 países que fazem parte aqui do nosso fórum, da nossa iniciativa, que possam participar e contribuir com esta iniciativa em projetos concretos, específicos e que permitam que não falte vacina para ninguém que precise no nosso planeta. Por fim, eu queria voltar a mencionar que nós temos que superar uma visão de que os países menos desenvolvidos são só consumidores, são só mercados consumidor para gerar renda em outros lugares. Nós temos sim capacidade de produzir, nós temos sim capacidade de inovar, nós temos sim capacidade de ter cooperação virtuosa com os países do Norte e com as grandes empresas. E nós temos sim uma perspectiva onde a cooperação ela pode ser mais importante do que a competição. Na competição, a gente quer deixar, como bom brasileiro, eu estou muito feliz com a vitória que o Brasil teve ontem no futebol, que a gente está acreditando que o time da seleção brasileira vai voltar a crescer, vamos competir e vamos ganhar muitos jogos. Mas, como produtores e inovadores na saúde global, nós queremos cooperar mais do que competir. Se mover mais pela solidariedade do que pelo lucro. Saber que temos que pagar o retorno dos nossos investimentos, mas, sobretudo, que nós temos o compromisso com a vida da população de nossos países e da população do planeta, sobretudo daqueles mais vulneráveis. Essa iniciativa ela é emocionante, 25 anos de vida, e que este fórum, esta aliança, este conjunto de países possam cada vez mais se fortalecer, não chutando a escada para que outros países participem, mas abrindo e abrigando iniciativas de países menos desenvolvidos para que participem com seu engenho, sua criatividade empreendedora e seu talento para produzir e inovar em saúde, para garantir a vida e a sustentabilidade no nosso planeta. Muito obrigado.
O nosso muitíssimo obrigada, Dr. Gadelha. Thank you very much, Dr. Gadelha. Now, I would like to give the floor to Dr. Ayodi Alakija, who will be addressing us through video message. Let's see.
Excellencies, friends, greetings from Mumbai, India. I'm so sorry not to be able to be with you today on this auspicious occasion of your 25th anniversary. My dear brother Rajinder, your chair, and everybody else, Nissia, my dear sister, and also Mario, you president of Fiocruz. I was so looking forward to seeing you all, but the good news is I hope to be able to see you all during the G20 in a couple of weeks. I'm unfortunately, or fortunately actually, in the field. I'm here in India visiting sites. Just yesterday, I remembered you all and thought of you as I was in Pune, sitting in the very same rooms where we held the AGM just 2 years ago, meeting with Adar Poonawala as we both reminisced over what an incredible AGM that was in Pune. Your work is important work. It is critical in these times, and it is because we are in these critical times that I am in the field, because sometimes we need to get out here where the work is being done, and we need to interact with the people who so desperately need your goods and your services. The work you do is critical in this time with Mpox and H5N1 and so many threats on the horizon, Marburg in my beloved continent of Africa and Rwanda. The work of the DCVMN is critical. I cannot state it enough. And it is time now for us to please amplify the work you do. However we need to do it, however we need to find the funding, the political support, and the wherewithal. We can no longer be bound to manufacturers based in the global north who are charging exorbitant prices, $110, $120 per vaccine at the moment for the Mpox vaccine, and we still can't get them. There are experimental vaccines coming in for Marburg, but you have the wherewithal, you have the technical expertise, and now we need to speak to the political leaders. We need political power. It is time. It is enough. So I was coming there today to give you a call to action, to say congratulations, that is all great, but we need to get to work. We need to push politicians, political leaders, those of them from our part of the world, to fund the work that you do, to support the work that you do. It is no longer just about tech transfer and fill and finish. I was yesterday visiting an incredible innovation facility in Pune, India. We have the wherewithal, we have have the know-how. Now we need the political push and we need the funding. I congratulate you all on this auspicious event, but I charge you, please do more. It is time that our people are no longer caught up in this cycle of panic and neglect. We talk about preparedness, we talk about the dynamic state of readiness, but we're not ready. We're not ready because you, who really are in charge of the majority of the world's population, still have your hands somewhat tied behind your backs. Somehow, and I hope the G20 again in Brazil will provide us with this opportunity, we need to ensure that political leaders see this. We need to ensure that we are no longer the ones that are left behind, because it is our economies that will be leading the world. I sit here in India where they're projecting a 10 trillion economy in just a few years' time. So also for many parts of Brazil, of Africa. It is time for us to take the lead. We are no longer the bridesmaid. We now must begin to prepare ourselves to be the bride of manufacturing, the bride of preparedness, the bride who takes center stage in taking care of her own problems. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Alakija, for your cheering words. Thank you very much. Now, we would like to give the floor in virtual mode to Ms. Leila Harguslu Pakala. Please.
Muito bom dia a todos. É grande prazer estar aqui hoje para uma reunião tão importante. Thank you all for the opportunity to be with you online. I'm so sorry not to be able to be there with you in person and look forward to future opportunities. First and foremost, on behalf of all of us at UNICEF, I'm delighted that you're celebrating 25 years as an organization. Both you as an organization and the manufacturers that you represent have been vital as we all work to support programs for children around the world. As many of you know, UNICEF has been engaging with developing country manufacturers for years, from the onset of inception of your important organization, as key partners in the fight against vaccine-preventable diseases. It's been impressive to see the increasing scale and reach of all of you as manufacturers and key stakeholders. As UNICEF's procurement of vaccines has grown over time for country programs that we directly support, and as part of key global partnerships such as the Global Polio Eradication Initiative and the Gavi Alliance, reaching 1 out of 2 children under the age of 5 with a range of vaccines, DCVMN has been there as a key partner. The size and scale that you represent are essential for us to deliver millions of vaccines to children around the world. Billions of vaccines to children around the world would be more appropriate. DCVMN producers have been there to support the rollout of really important vaccines that at the beginning of the century and even during the last decade were only just beginning to get widespread recognition and use. Whether we talk about pneumococcal pneumonia, rotavirus, hepatitis B, or whether we talk about HPV and malaria more recently, we're seeing deaths drop as we collectively support the introduction of these vaccines and their scale up in countries, thanks to your close collaboration. Today, DCVMN partners from our program countries represent over 2/3 of the annual volume of vaccine UNICEF procures for national governments. I've just returned from India, where I had the opportunity to meet with a number of our key suppliers that we heard from online and to visit their facilities. These are impressive world-class facilities that are a tribute to years of investment and work. The work on technological innovation in India is particularly noteworthy, but everything we saw was phenomenal. As the DCVMN expands and manufacturers from underrepresented regions, such as the important continent of Africa, develop their own capacity and networks, UNICEF is happy to support diversification of manufacturing to help ensure that all manufacturers have an opportunity to explore markets and engage with us in the procurement process. We're also excited at the opportunity that is presented by many manufacturers looking upstream at new and innovative products. The fact that research and development is becoming an increasing part of your work, an important part of your work, provides an opportunity for us together to look at developing solutions that address problems facing low and middle income countries. With the COVID pandemic still in recent memory and the ongoing Mpox outbreak a current concern for so many of us, along with the potential for future pandemics, the networks that have been developed, such as the Regional Vaccine Manufacturing Collaborative, will be important channels for many of the manufacturers gathered in Sao Paulo today to build additional capacity and expertise to develop novel products. With this firmly in mind, a continuing focus for UNICEF as we engage the market in even more expanded ways is sustainability, recognizing the broader agenda around environment, social, and governance impact. We're very keen to work with many of you to look at these issues, including how we can reduce carbon emissions and consider the broader impact of our work. I wish you all the very best in the discussions this week and look forward to hearing of the outcomes. Gostaria de aproveitar a oportunidade para desejar a todos uma boa reunião. Muito obrigada.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hargis Lopakalan, for your participation on virtual mode with us. Thank you. Now, we shall proceed, and we are going to invite you all to watch the video message of the Director of PAHO, Dr. Jarbas Barbosa da Silva Jr. No telão, on the screen, please.
Chair and members of the Developing Countries Vaccines Manufacturing Network, distinguished colleagues and valuable participants. I would like to express my sincere regret for not being able to attend this important meeting in person. The Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network, DCVMN, and its members have been crucial partners for the Pan American Health Organization and its member states in achieving critical public health goals in the region of the Americas. As shown during the COVID-19 pandemic, our region and others experienced challenges related to the equitable access to vaccines and other health technologies. If we work together, we can make stronger progress in identifying and addressing these challenges. For example, we can create more resilient supply chains and avoid the missteps of the past by promoting strategies that increase equal access to health technologies for all. We still encounter many challenges ahead, but as we look to the future, there are also important opportunities, and with the support of DCVMN members, we can achieve a world that will be better prepared for future pandemics and outbreaks. As you are aware, one of PAHO's key objectives through its regional revolving fund for access to vaccines is to ensure timely access to quality-assured and affordable vaccines. PAHO has been working to provide access since 1979, as requested by our member states, and this has impacted at least 180 million people in the past 2 years alone. Our regional revolving fund not only benefits the populations, but it has also greatly aided the suppliers by guiding member states to quantify their needs, consolidating the demand effectively, providing financial reliability, and forecasting predictability. In 2023, we also launched an innovation and regional production platform, which provides a regional approach to strengthen the capacity for development, technology transfer, and production of vaccines, health technologies, and raw materials, while promoting enabling environments and ecosystems for sustainable and public health focused impact. To achieve this vision and meet the needs of our member states and their health systems, we need more innovative products, competitive pricing, and timely deliveries. These efforts, along with the advancement of multi-sectoral policies and governance mechanisms, aim to ensure a coherent end-to-end approach, integrating innovation, production, equitable access, and knowledge-based economic and social development. PAHO is committed to propose innovations to reduce supply chain vulnerabilities and improve access in the Americas. In addition to enhancing innovation and access, we are also encouraging partners and suppliers to bring their operations toward social and environmental sustainability so that we can leave a better world for future generations. Throughout this meeting, PAHO colleagues will provide more details on our work to support our member states in order to ensure that everyone has access to the health technologies they need to live healthy and full lives. I hope this meeting will be recognized as a significant milestone for the well-being of the people of the Americas with the presence of esteemed and distinguished guests. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jarbas Barbosa. We would like now to pass the floor to Ms. Emma Whitley, standing in for the CEO, SAP, Dr. Richard Hatchett, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellencies, colleagues, friends, my first task today is to send you Richard Hatchett's most sincere apologies for his inability at the last minute to be able to join us here today. He was extremely disappointed. My second is to thank you, DCVMN and the Brazilian colleagues, for hosting us in this wonderful city of Sao Paulo, as well as their support for the Global Pandemic Preparedness Summit earlier on this year, also in Brazil. And my third is to congratulate you, all of you, within DCVMN for 25 amazing years of dedication, innovation, and tremendous collaboration towards our shared mission to improve global health through vaccines. It's hard not to repeat the words that came before this, but DCVMN and its members have played a crucial role in providing life-saving vaccines and making sure that they reach those who needed them most. That goal, our shared goal of a more equitable world, one where equity is baked into the systems so that people in different places can have the same protection against disease, no matter where they are, whether they're in Sao Paulo, Mumbai, or Lagos, or New York, London, or Tokyo. That goal endures, and although it's far closer now, it's also getting more challenging. We're seeing that with outbreaks across the globe, with Marburg and Mpox in Africa, H5N1 and West Nile virus in North America, and large epidemics in South America of dengue, chikungunya, Zika, and Oropouche. And we know that climate change is going to increase that threat. We know that climate change is going to increase the frequency, the intensity, and crucially, the spread of these emerging infectious diseases. And with that kind of spread, that frequency, that intensity, the problems that we face dealing with these diseases now become more complex and will require truly global collaboration to address them together. We've got to have the courage to stand up and collaborate with each other, even though the instinct might be to retreat, to isolate, to deal with the problem on our own doorstep. Having that courage to share the problem and share the solutions is going to be incredibly important. And as we heard earlier, DCVMN leads the way in that. That's baked into the ethos of your very organization. And just as you lead the volume of vaccine production today in the world, you can lead in that way too. We've seen paradigm shifts during COVID with the speed of research and development. 100 Days Mission, supported by the G7 and the G20, as well as many others, is truly looking like a possibility now. And if we can connect that to the manufacturing capable of taking it forward, we will be a truly unstoppable force in solving some of these problems. Each of you is essential in your part to play in all of that. But the next frontiers, as we've heard, are getting research and development done in the South, getting truly sustainable systems and adapting. We already fund a lot of development work amongst DCVMN members. But on the timely sustainability of regional vaccine manufacturing, there is still more to be done. And that is why from this year we are hosting the RVMC, the Regional Vaccine Manufacturing Collaborative, with a unique focus on creating an enabling environment for manufacturing and supply chain networks that are capable both of delivering those routine vaccines, but also of enabling production and delivery of outbreak vaccines when they're needed. RVMC is going to, already does, champion, fosters intra and inter-regional collaboration as well as global collaboration, and delivers trusted expertise, and will track that program to make sure that the environment needed for your success and for the success of the world is truly there. It's not our initiative alone. We partner with many others, and so I don't want you to think that. I also want to recognize the progress with the countries and the regions that are taking this forward, and particularly with Brazil's leadership and championing of regional diversification as part of its G20 presidency, and the benefits that are already being seen and that Dr. Carlos talked about just now. As DCVMN members, you're key to advancing both development of vaccines and of most interest to CEPI, our priority pathogens. And through CEPI's vaccine manufacturing facility network, we are looking at expanding and enabling equitable access further in outbreaks, specifically by supporting the capacity and capabilities geographically diversified and in a sustainable manner moving forward. We believe in a future where somebody in Sao Paulo can expect the same protection from disease as somebody in New York. The impressive gains of DCVMN over the last 25 years, your approach to innovation and collaboration, sharing problems and solving them together, and most of all, your presence here today, give us hope that that future will become reality. CEPI stands with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Witherley. Thank you. Now, we would like to invite you to watch the video message of the CEO of Gavi, Dr. Sanya Nishtar. Please.
Dear partners, it is an honor to be speaking to you all today. And I'm sorry I'm unable to join you in person in a revitalized Brazil that is back at the center of the world stage, back as a driving force in global health, and firing on all cylinders as an engine of vaccine manufacturing. Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, which I'm honored to lead, as you are probably aware, was launched in the year 2000 to answer a simple but fundamental question. How do we ensure everyone, regardless of location or income, gender or social status, has access to life-saving vaccines? And all of you gathered here today are part of the answer to that question. And you have been so for the past 2 decades of Gavi's existence. Let me explain how. By working closely with DCVMN members, Gavi has been able to leverage its collective buying power to bring vaccines into the realms of affordability and sustainability for Gavi-supported countries. The results speak for themselves. Since the year 2000, Gavi has helped vaccinate over 1 billion children, preventing more than 17 million deaths in the process. Many millions of those children were vaccinated with doses from DCVMN members. By working together, we have contributed to a healthier, more prosperous future for entire communities and for the world. But we still have so much more work to do. We are just 5 years away from the deadline to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, yet millions of children still die from vaccine-preventable diseases. The question is, what should we collectively do about it? And here I want to refer to our investment opportunity, which was launched at the end of June this year. The investment opportunity sets out how the Alliance plans to answer that question by accelerating impact between 2026 and 2030. In the past, together we vaccinated 1 billion children in a little over 2 decades. And now we want to reach the next billion in half that time, which means vaccinating at least an additional 500 million children and saving 8 million lives in the process. DCVMN members will play a crucial role in meeting this ambitious goal. To strengthen the global architecture for health emergency preparedness and response, Gavi will expand vaccine programs to prevent outbreak-prone diseases at their source and make the largest investment in the Alliance's history in vaccine stockpiles against diseases like Ebola, cholera, and yellow fever. But we can't do it without the innovations and the volumes produced by DCVMN members, as the recent pre-qualification of new products against cholera and typhoid testify. As you are aware, the risk of outbreaks in many of these diseases is increasing year on year due to the effects of climate change, whilst shifts in land use, ecological degradation, and other factors are increasing the risk that pathogens make the jump from animals to humans. Dear partners, the world is only just recovering from a pandemic caused by one such pathogen, SARS-CoV-2. And as we speak, the response to the Mpox outbreak in DRC and elsewhere in Africa continues to illustrate another emergency. The pandemic and Mpox are two clear examples of the inequities that can rapidly arise when vaccine demand exceeds supply and when market health is suboptimal. Solving these structural problems will take the types of innovative and scalable solutions that have long been a part of Gavi's DNA and that have been central to the continued success of so many DCVMN members. The African Vaccine Manufacturing Accelerator, or AVMA as we call it, is a perfect example of just such a solution. This innovative financing instrument aims to invest at least $1 billion over the next 10 years to catalyze the development of African vaccine manufacturing, which would bring regional and global manufacturing resilience at the same time as contributing to the vibrant manufacturing ecosystem that Africa needs to begin meeting its growing demands for vaccines with products produced on the continent. We will need the close collaboration of DCVMN members to make AVMA a success. Dear partners, between 2025 and 2030, Gavi will protect more children against more diseases faster than ever before, and I'm pleased to let you know this. Over 120 million young women and girls will be protected from cervical cancer with the HPV vaccine, saving 1.5 million lives. Over 50 million children will receive the new malaria vaccine that are being rolled out across Africa as we speak. We will drive the integration of immunization and primary healthcare in Gavi-supported countries and facilitate more than 1.4 billion instances of contact between families and health services by the end of 2030. And we will do all this at the same time as strengthening our commitment to and support for the long-term sustainability of national immunization programs. Over the next 5 years, countries will fund a record percentage of the costs of their vaccines, contributing over $4 billion. And by 2030, more than 1 in 4 of the 78 lower-income countries originally supported by Gavi will be fully funding their own vaccine programs. This is an incredible joint achievement we should all be proud of. And it is clear that as much as DCVN members have been central to our shared achievements, you are even more central to our hopes and goals for the future. Dear partners, I thank you again for this opportunity to speak to you all today. And I hope that you have an enriching and productive AGM in these beautiful surroundings. It is fitting that we should be talking about ensuring equitable access to vaccines in Brazil. Brazil is a country that has a very long and successful tradition of immunization through the Bolsa Familia program. Bolsa Familia has indeed demonstrated leadership and commitment to vaccine equity on the global stage. So I will leave the stage now, and I look forward to working closely with many of you in the days, months, and years ahead as we continue the long and fruitful collaboration between Gavi and the DCVMN members. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nishtar. Thank you. Now, we would like to invite you all to watch the video message of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. Please.
Chief Executive Suri, Board Chair Azari, distinguished executives, dear colleagues and friends. 50 years ago, WHO established a groundbreaking initiative to dramatically expand access to vaccines, the Expanded Program on Immunization, or EPI. At that time, less than 5% of the world's children were immunized. Today, that figure stands at 83%. The Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturer Network has been a critical partner in this extraordinary global health success. Based on WHO's latest global vaccine market report, developing country vaccine manufacturers supplied more than half of all vaccines globally in 2023. And yet, many communities still do not have access to vaccines, leading to 1.5 million vaccine-preventable deaths each year. The Immunization Agenda 2030 outlines the key areas where we need to continue working together for equitable access to vaccines. First, we need more transfer of technology and know-how to manufacturers in low and middle-income countries. Second, we need more investment in vaccines for underserved research areas, including the WHO list of priority pathogens and neglected tropical diseases. And third, we need more affordable and reliable vaccine supply to low and middle-income countries that face financial barriers. Thank you all for your ongoing partnership. WHO remains committed to working with you so that all people benefit from life-saving power of vaccines. I thank you.
Well, our opening ceremony are coming to an end. We would like to thank Dr. Ghebreyesus. It's a hard name to say, I will say again, Ghebreyesus, and all other dignitaries of the honor table for their valuable contribution, and invite you all to enjoy the network lunch, which will take place in 2 different places, in Vanguarda Terrace, upstairs, and Complexo 17 or Complex 17 in the next building. We are going to come back in 1 hour. You can count on us. Whatever you need, our team will be always available to help you with any need you might have. We want to thank you very much for attending our opening ceremony, and after lunch, we will proceed with our program. Thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you to all of you and all of you. Thank you. Thank you.